Coming up on Golden State Warriors today by Chat Sports, Myles Turner trade rumors continue to bubble to the surface, but according to Anthony Slater of The Athletic, the Warriors are prioritizing keeping Kevon Looney and not making an upgrade at the center spot. We'll get into that. Also, should the Warriors sign Paul Millsap or Marc Gasol, who's thinking about a return to the NBA? We'll hop into all of that, but first, make sure you subscribe to Warriors Today by Chat Sports for the best Warriors coverage on YouTube. Let's get to 26,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So if you love the Dubs and you want more coverage, hit that red subscribe button down below, and let's ride. All right, welcome into Golden State Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Senior. Hope all of you are having a fantastic start to your week. We start off with the latest on Myles Turner, a player who a lot of teams across the NBA have interest in because he's one of the best two-way centers in the league, and a lot of Warriors fans have interest as well. But according to Anthony Slater, does not look like the Warriors are looking for a roster upgrade in the front court. So as far as Turner of the Indiana Pacers goes, he's expected to be out past the NBA trade deadline after suffering a stress reaction in his left foot, but according to doctors and medical experts, it's not really expected to be a long-term injury, and it's not really expected to scare teams away who are looking to make an upgrade at that center position. Now, the conversation and the debate that we've always been having about Myles Turner is whether or not the Warriors should pull the trigger. He would certainly add a different dimension to this Warriors roster, but as I've continued to say here on the channel, I think this roster is very, very good. I think they're in a position where they're one of the most lethal and deepest teams in the NBA. I think they should stay put at the NBA trade deadline. I do not think they should make a trade. But that does not stop the blog boys from putting forward these trade ideas. This one coming from Bleacher Report. And I wanted to pass it along because I think it's pretty interesting, because you're not really giving up any player of significant stature, at least right now. Now, James Wiseman still out. Maybe he rejoins the team in February. That timeline continues to get pushed back. I'm starting to get a little bit more concerned because he's a big body still dealing with that knee injury. But this Bleacher Report trade idea has Myles Turner going from the Pacers to the Dubs in exchange for the second-year big man in James Wiseman, Moses Moody, who was drafted 14th overall, and Nemanja Bjelica. So Warriors fans, I want to see where you're at on this subject matter. Would you make this trade? You can rip me in the comment section all you want. I know a lot of you are going to say, Chase, all you do is talk about trading people, when I literally just said I wouldn't make a trade. But you let me know what you would do. Type T for trade, type P for pass. This will be the pinned comment on today's video. So those of you watching on Newsbreak, make sure you get your votes in the comment section down below. As for Golden State, Klay Thompson out because of some difficulties with that knee. Hopefully that's not a long-term injury. That's another news item that we're talking about. But look, Golden State is in win-now mode. They're trying to compete for a championship, not next year, not the year after that. Of course, you want long-standing success, but they are pushing all their chips onto the table, and they're trying to win an NBA championship this year. That's why these Myles Turner trade rumors continue to come up with teams that involve the Golden State Warriors. Now, parting ways with James Wiseman is certainly tough because he has tantalizing potential on both ends of the floor, but bringing in a player like Myles Turner kind of quickens up the approach and the timeline that you're on trying to win an NBA championship with the veteran, as compared to a second-year player who didn't play a lot in his rookie year and has still not played at all in his second year. Now, this would allow you to keep Kevon Looney, who's the ultimate glue guy on this Warriors roster, who's continued to be a very valuable force on this Warriors team. That's why I kind of like the trade idea and don't hate it, because you keep Kevon Looney as a very, very good rotational piece as a backup center. Do you want to win a championship right now? It's really the conversation that Bob Myers and the rest of the organization is having. They have a well-rounded roster that is deep. They have premier talent. They have one of the best coaches, if not the best coach in the NBA, in Steve Kerr. They're good defensively, still one of the best units on the floor. On that end of the floor in the league this year, and they're really, really good offensively when they're clicking. So that's kind of the conversation that the Warriors brass is having when they're kind of looking at the landscape and trying to feel out whether or not they want to make a trade. A sophomore and a veteran in the deal. That's what this trade really comes down to. Do you want to hold on to a young player in James Wiseman with potential who's still unproven, or do you want to bring in a veteran who you know what you're getting, who has led the NBA in blocks the last 2 years and has really expanded expanded his offensive arsenal to the point where he's become a very good three-point shooter. Now, if a trade does happen, we will keep you updated all year round with your Golden State Warriors. So make sure you hit that red subscribe button down below here on YouTube to stay in the know with everything going down with the Golden State Warriors. This is your one-stop shop for all things Dub. So hit that red subscribe button down below and join the Dub Nation family here at Chat Sports. We move forward in this conversation as we continue to talk about Warriors trade rumors on YouTube, on Newsbreak. No Warriors trade for a center. That coming from Anthony Slater, that the Warriors are not looking to make a roster upgrade for a player like Myles Turner. Let's get to that report from Anthony Slater of The Athletic. And really, the big talking point here, the Warriors wanting to prioritize keeping Kevon Looney. This might be the most undervalued statistic in regard to the Warriors' success this year. Kevon Looney. 0 games missed. The Warriors have played nearly 50 games, and Looney has started all of them, never even popping up on the injury report, while also eluding health and safety protocols. Look, Kevon Looney is undervalued. He's underrated. You look at his stats, and they're not going to blow anybody out of the water, right? But Kevon Looney continues to give this team a very good veteran presence, a very good leadership presence. He is just the ultimate stabilizer. Offensively, he does what he's asked. Defensively, he always comes through. He's played in a bunch of big games, and this year, he's been more available than he has in prior years, and a lot of that is because he's been able to avoid injuries that have crept on him in seasons past. Kevon Looney on his health said this: "I actually feel better than I ever did. In years past, I don't know if I could have played a back-to-back, played 20-plus minutes, but now I feel great. I feel confident. My body's been responding pretty well." And that's good for Kevon Looney as he continues to age, and it's really been backed up by the numbers that he's been able to put up this year. As I talked about, the numbers here: 6 points per game, 7 rebounds, almost a block per night, 55%. He doesn't shoot the three at all. It's not like anybody's going to look at that stat line and say, yo, Kevon Looney is insane, right? But when you play alongside Steph Curry and now Klay Thompson and Draymond Green when he's healthy and Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, the thing is, at that front court spot, you don't really have to chuck up threes. You don't have to light the scoreboard on fire. You just have to be that stabilizing presence, and that is what Kevon Looney has been for the Golden State Warriors ever since he joined this team out of UCLA. Want to give a shout out to today's presenting sponsor, BetUS, for making today's show possible. Head to chatsports.com/bet, enter the promo code CHAT125 for a 125% deposit bonus. Sports gambling really becoming popular in many states across America, but no matter where you live, internationally or in America, this deal does apply for you. And of course, we want you to wager and gamble on sports in a very responsible manner. Defensive Player of the Year betting odds right now, even though Draymond Green is out with that calf and back injury, still leading the way. Even odds right now. Goes to show you just how elite he is on the defensive end of the floor. Rudy Gobert right behind him at plus 150. Giannis at plus 600. Mikal Bridges at plus 2,000 of the Phoenix Suns. And Joel Embiid, 27-1 odds to win Defensive Player of the Year. Get your bets in by using that link down below or that promo code CHAT125. As far as the Warriors' trade plans go, leading up to the February 10th NBA trade deadline, more reporting from Anthony Slater of The Athletic. Seems as though more and more that the Warriors are just going to stay put. No sources insist that the front office doesn't have any current plans to add outside help to shore up the center spot in the immediate. Marc Gasol has hinted at a possible NBA return in the coming months. Paul Millsap, whom the Warriors discussed adding this summer, is in search of another team, but don't expect a shakeup. So could Paul Millsap in NBA free agency or Marc Gasol in NBA free agency hop on board the Warriors roster? I don't think so, because that would mean that you have to part ways with a player like Damion Lee, who I really like as a bench piece, or a Nemanja Bjelica, or another highly regarded player on this roster and in the locker room like a Juan Toscano-Anderson. I side with keeping younger players, like the guys who I just mentioned, over old guys who are kind of just washed in Paul Millsap and Marc Gasol. Now, Millsap was with the Brooklyn Nets. He averaged under 4 points per game. He didn't do jack. And of course, Marc Gasol has not played this year after he was basically bought out by the Memphis Grizzlies after being traded away by the Los Angeles Lakers. Marc Gasol is also washed. keep the current roster intact. That is my solution to what the Warriors should do going into the trade deadline. If an injury happens, that's when you start to have these discussions about veterans. But look, Marc Gasol, Paul Millsap, I'm good. I like what I've seen from Otto Porter. I'm keeping him on this team. I don't want to part ways with a player like him in order to pave the way for a roster spot for a Gasol or a Paul Millsap. So grade the Warriors' current roster as it stands right now. Like, I think this is an A-B roster. I think they're going to be able to compete for an NBA championship. But where's the fan base at? You let me know and get those votes in down below. And don't forget to subscribe.